Hello everyone, it's Knowledge, and welcome back to another gameplay video. Today, I'm going to be playing some Artemis Aspect in the Jungle. This video is meant to go with my Know Your Enemy series, so that way you can see what I do in a real game while playing the god, using some of the tips and tricks that I mentioned in the Know Your Enemy video guide for the Artemis Aspect. So we're playing Jungle, we're playing Aspect, and you'll see what this game turns into, okay? So first off, let's take a look at the enemy team here. We have an Agni, high mobility, difficult to lock down. Definitely want to be wary of the Kepri. I do not want to be getting grabbed. The Neath has the backflip, which is always kind of annoying. The E-Set has the little wing flaps, which also gives her mobility, also not ideal for this. And then the Guan Yu, really, you can get away from the like spinning blades, so shouldn't be that big of an issue, okay? We've got an On Her, which is nice because they can pillar somebody into a wall. That's very good for us. The Sylvanas Pull, also quite nice. Along with the knock-up on the ultimate, the Achilles Stun is also quite nice. And then the Ra just, I don't know, the Ra is a Ra, okay? So we'll get into this here. And this is my first game playing Artemis Aspect, if I remember correctly, in quite a while. So I think I'm deciding on what starter to go. But I do go the Golden Blade, as that definitely is the best thing to go early. I'm also going to be going Jotuns first, as a result of needing cooldown.
The hunt has begun.
And so we'll go ahead and get this game started. I will warn you, this is a little bit of a lengthy game. So here I leveled my 3 first. It's usually better to level your 1 first, but I forgot to. It's a short answer of it. I should have leveled my 1 first, but I didn't. It's not a disaster if you level the 3 first. You'll still be just fine, but your clear will be a little bit slower, especially right here at the beginning, because I didn't pre-place any traps.
You cannot escape the storm!
We're just going through the early stages of the game here.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I probably had time to clear one more camp, but oh well, I go over here to possibly look for a gank. So as you can tell, I'm a little bit discombobulated here at the beginning of the game. I haven't played Jungle in a while. I haven't played Artemis Aspect in a while, so I'm not entirely sure about all of my camp rotations and timings and how quickly I clear things. But the nice part is I do get these mid-camp for free.
Your middle tower is under attack.
From the heavens, let winter
So I try to throw a 3 over the wall, see if I can get some poke damage off. I did hit her. It's not the end of the world. I do level the 1 second for the extra help on the clear.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And so you can see that the heal is actually helping me out quite a bit here because I'm still full health. So the extra health here is definitely nice when you're going for camps in the early game. Now, of course, I do have a jungle passive as well to give me health, but I would definitely be down a little bit of health here. I haven't used any health pots yet. So I come over here to look for a gank. Right, I'm expecting the Neath to backflip. Yeah, I missed the trap there. I don't get any damage off the trap. The Kepri I know is slow, but and there's a good pull by the Sylvanas, where I'm just trying to pump out as much damage as possible. Good shell by the Kepri. I'm just going to try to get away here from the Agni. It's actually Agni Jungle, which is a little bit of a weird pick. But it looks like we're going to back here. So we'll get ourselves out of the base.
Now freeze.
Now don't be afraid to use your trap, right? It's on a 10-second cooldown at all ranks. And so you're going to have it back up most of the time. So I see that the Guan Yu just hit 5 here, so I'm going to expect him to ult out here, which, you know, at least I get out his ult, right? My kills are behind. This also gets us fire creeps here for free as well. There's not going to be anybody to contest this. I see the Agni coming, but we have a 2v1 here. So this is just nice for us. And so hopefully by now you've seen that my clear in the jungle isn't necessarily the fastest clear, but it is pretty decent, okay? And so that's nice to have. You're not necessarily going to be struggling for clear. So, which is up. I tried to ult there, but I got silenced. Now I'm going to follow up with an ultimate. Did I need to ult there? Maybe not, but I wanted to make sure I got the kill. I don't want to, you know, I want the golden XP off of that kill, right? I don't want to waste it. And so, or waste the opportunity for a kill. So make sure you get that, right? There's no reason not to. Especially, you want to punish them for playing up on that tower line if you can. Also gives your teammates a little bit of faith in you that you actually know what you're doing. And are going to be useful in this game. So there's also that. I am leveling the 3 here because I am going an ability build, so I want to level my 3
from the heavens
for this.
Winter rain.
And then the extra attack speed from the golden dagger is also quite helpful here in just, you know, getting those big creeps killed. And it also means I don't necessarily have to use my 1 every time that I try to clear. Okay. Now I probably should be using my 1 to clear here a little bit more than I'm using my 3, but again, my 3's on a 9-second cooldown. At base, and then I already have 25% cooldown rate, so it comes off a cooldown really quick, so it's it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So the dual lane's pushed up again, so I decided to go in. Yep, I expected that to happen. I missed the trap. I unfortunately got stunned at the end of the radius, so I'm not really going to be able to do a whole lot here. Good play though by the on her. And then I get my ult off. It charges the Neath first, but it actually maybe ends up being a good thing so that the Neath can't try to heal or re-engage. Gives us some distance to just get the free kill onto the Khepri. So we will definitely take that. Good pillar by the on her though. That definitely set us up for the kill.
You cannot escape.
So I see the Agni dash. I don't want to take a 1v1 fight with them. I do call out over here to right that, hey, you know, somebody is coming. You need to watch out.
Your left tower is under attack.
He also has a war in the correct spot. So I don't see the Agni yet, so I'm assuming he's on fire creeps over here. So I'm happy that he's on. Unfortunately, he gets them, but he does take quite a bit of poke. Unfortunately, I don't hit him either, so I can't really try to catch him. But he's low, so I don't think he's going to be able to re-engage onto this. And then the Guan Yu, I get lucky here and that the Guan Yu ults without knowing that I'm here, okay? This is one of these cases where I'm assuming that these guys aren't in comms, so he can't tell the Guan Yu, hey, this guy is going to come and gank you. He was just right here. So, oops.
Rain.
And so, the Guan Yu ults my Achilles here, which is also kind of strange because he's right at the tower line, he's full health. I'm not sure what the goal of this ultimate by the Guan Yu is, but needless to say, he ends up ulting. And so, he ults too late, and we're going to be able to get the kill here. We do have to waste a couple of ultimates to do it. Of course, I missed my trap by a mile. So as you can see, like, this trap is very hard to hit. It's hard to get in the correct position. I probably should have just saved it for my ultimate, the combo ultimate, to get the extra damage, but, you know, that is probably a bad habit that I have, is using the trap at incorrect times. But that's something that I can work on. Now, there's this fight going on in mid here. So I definitely want to ideally grab a couple of camps and see if I can help out here. They get a kill, so that makes it a little bit less urgent that I get over there.
Winter rain. Caught in the chill. Now freeze. You cannot escape the storm.
So good silence there by the E-set. She doesn't silence me there. I definitely have a case for ulting her, and with 2 teammates standing right there, there's a good chance we get a kill. Not sure why the Neath ults me here. I wonder if she was maybe trying to target somebody in mid up here, but, you know, okay. At least we ate a Neath ult, okay, and that did basically nothing. So we're back over here in the solo lane. We're going to see if we can get ourselves a kill. So he ults. I pump out some damage. We get his ult, though, so we'll take that. It's never bad. The fire creeps are up, so we're going to be able to get ourselves some fire creeps. So right now, we're behind a little bit. Again, it's early, so it's basically even, right? Like, there's not a whole lot. It is a little bit weird that we are down. I mean, I had 2 kills, but down in gold. Not much to make of that.
Terrain.
So right now there's just a whole lot of like nothingness happening on the map right now. I see the Agni over here and right, but there really isn't any good gank opportunities. Everybody's either playing back or not really going in for an engagement. But I've got a lot of, I had my camps up, so we're able to get some farm here. Right, we're level 10, so we're at a comparable level compared to the other team, which is good.
Your right tower has been destroyed.
Unfortunately, they get our right tower, which isn't ideal, but you know, it happens. Our support goes over there, so.
Enemy missing right.
From the heavens, let winter reign. Kiss of death.
Oh, I get Neath ulted again, so I'm just gonna disengage here. The Guan Yu's over here now. And he ulted us. That's why I ulted. So I try to get some damage off here in return. Unfortunately, do I die here? Yeah, I died here. I died to the Kepri take damage. So I shouldn't have re-engaged there. That was definitely a misplay. Of course, our Achilles, I don't think, called out that there was enemy missing from right. So that definitely wasn't ideal. And my Savant also died, which is pretty bad. And then our Achilles goes into 1v4, which is, you know, just lovely. Good Aegis, though, to get out alive. Unfortunately, he had to use his Aegis. So yeah, so we died. Not ideal. Definitely a misplay. Shouldn't have re-engaged, but we are where we are. We're down on the Agni now. Nice kill from the on her on the Neath. That's definitely big.
Your left tower is under attack.
From the heavens, let winter reign.
The Pyromancer has arrived.
You cannot escape the storm.
So we're just going for farm here.
Escape the storm.
The Guan Yu. Okay, let's break this up here because I think the fight breaks out right here.
You cannot escape the storm. Nowhere to hide.
So he just runs out of the trap. He's able to dash away. I am with another slow. So I get some good poke damage off on him. And I get him to use his ult. So that is a W. Unfortunately, our on her died and left. So because our on her died and left, and I think there was 2 of them over in left. Yeah, there's a couple of them over in left, right? This should be a good time to go for a Pyromancer.
From the heavens, let winter reign.
So because you are a little bit more auto attack focused, you are definitely able to do objectives a little bit better for your team. And so I'm guessing that they're on the Gold Fury here because we knew that 2 of them were in left and they just saw us take the Pyro. And so it turns out, oh my gosh, this is super low, and I get my 3 on it, I get an absolute steal. That's impeccable timing, and that is incredible game sense to know that, hey, I think they might be going for this. And so then they decide to engage, which allows me to get an ult off. I get the Aegis from the E set.
You cannot escape the storm.
I get the kill on the Kepri. I stall for time. Right now I got no mana, so I'm trying to play it somewhat safe. Well, we ended up getting a Gold Fury steal and 2 kills because I recognized, hey, there's a high chance that they're going to go for this Gold Fury because we're on the other side of the map. I was right, got there at basically impeccable timing, which is a little bit fortunate, but then we're able to capitalize on them making a bad play and overcommitting. We get 2 kills, we get the Gold Fury, and, you know, we prevent ourselves from falling too far behind here because they do have a couple of our towers down at this point. Actually, they have 3 of our towers down. They have all of our tier 1 towers down. We haven't gotten a tower yet. So that was definitely a big play. Definitely helps keep us in this game.
You cannot escape the storm! Caught in a chill.
So then, you know, I do some farming, and then I see, okay, our Anhur is getting run at over here. Let's go see if we can do something. I also have the Sylvanas for help.
Enemy missing right.
And then I see the E-set coming in. So I decide, yo, hey, let's not go for the people on left. Let's go for the E-set, who maybe not expecting us to be there and or turn around on her. Unfortunately, we're not really able to make anything happen here. But then the Guan Yu ults in, which is a little bit strange. I'm kind of debating here who to go on. I decided to slow the E-set. The E-set is a much easier kill for me. But with the CC on the Guan Yu, I try to help out with this.
You cannot escape the storm!
And so then I poke my head around the corner too much, so I need to ult out.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. From the heavens,
I try to throw some damage over the wall. It doesn't really connect. That's an amazing pull by the Sylvanas, by the way, to get him through the wall. Unfortunately, right there, our team was not in position to capitalize on this. So,
Winter rain.
right, our Anhur's playing back right here. He's looking like he's gonna back, right? I'm not sure. I mean, he is half health. Okay, so I can understand that. I can understand that. And then, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I missed my 3 on him as well. Okay, so our Anhur was backing. That makes a little more sense why we didn't do any damage. And I get blown up by the E-set. She has to use her ult, though. Yeah, not ideal. At first I thought that somebody made a misplay there, but looking back on it, that's why watching the gameplay back can teach you valuable things, because at first I thought, like, hey, we weren't doing enough damage, but, you know, looking back at what my team was doing, I understand better why we didn't get that kill on the Kepri. But now it's a full retreat. We're down a player. We don't have the damage to compete with them right now. I do have top damage in the game, which is kind of surprising, right? It feels like I haven't really been in too many engagements. I haven't been necessarily impactful hugely in a lot of the engagements. So it was surprising to me that I had top damage. You know, I'm kind of thinking that, yo, hey, are my teammates not doing their end of the bargain, right? It doesn't feel like I've been, yeah, like I said, very impactful in this game. But I am doing damage, so, right, that's at least good, right? And I don't have an, you know, excess amount of deaths too. I only have 2 deaths, so.
A heavy draw.
So my team goes for an engage right there. I maybe shouldn't have backed here. I don't know. I mean, I'm backing. It is a 3v2 still, though, so.
You cannot escape the storm.
So I want to help my team out here if I can.
Now freeze.
I recognize that, yo, hey, I'm pushed up kind of far. I want to back up because my front line is basically running away at this point. So I don't want to overcommit. Unfortunately, their Neith is just going to get this left tower. There's not a whole lot that I can do about that. So my team heads over to left, but I think it is too late. Well, no, they're going to save the tower. They're going to save the tower. But I go for farm.
From the heavens.
Don't forget to farm. And so, yeah, there's just kind of a whole lot of nothing happening here right now.
Escape the storm.
You know, I kind of have been in a group with my team following them around, but there isn't any action for a little bit. But then we see a ward ping here. This is the Guan Yu that seems to be alone, so this is 100% a engage opportunity. He ults all of us. But then their team does show up. So his ultimate makes a little more sense there. I try to do a shooting retreat.
Now freeze.
I try to get some traps down for some damage, but not super effective. The Achilles is just kind of dead.
Why am I so good at the game?
Not much we can do about that. So this is just a full disengage. We have most of our team is low, so we should 100% leave.
The storm.
So I go back to farming, but they're in our jungle, so I have to try to do something. Now keep in mind here that as a jungler, it's not really my primary duty to do damage to their Kepri, right? I'm usually trying to get to their backline and do damage, okay? So going jungle, there's a little more case for maybe picking up Blink. I definitely don't think that Blink would have been good in this match or their team comp based on the CC that they have. And so you can see that I'm hitting the Kepri for nothing, right? And that's also because I don't have any penetration. I maybe should have gone penetration 3rd item instead of 4th item, but You know, that's something to keep in mind.
Is under attack.
You cannot
So unfortunately,
escape
the on her
storm.
misses that.
Now freeze.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Had he get the, if he gets the pin there, I probably ult to combo off of him, but it didn't happen. So, but this is again where, you know, you're looking for your teammates to kind of set you up a little bit. Otherwise, you don't have a ton of setup outside of your ultimate, right?
From
So.
the heavens, let winter reign. Nowhere to hide.
So right, I'm playing from the sides here. I'm trying to play a little more jungle positioning, not necessarily straight out of the back
Cannot
line.
escape the storm.
Trying to get some poke out where I can.
From the heavens, let winter reign.
So my support goes in here, so I want to follow up on this. And so we get a nice, clean team combo on him.
You cannot escape the storm. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
So I just decided to back up, right? My team backs up. And so now I'm hoping that because I'm over here that they don't have this warded, and that if they push up too far, I can maybe, you know, jump on someone. Okay. So the Neath is a little bit out of position here, so I decided to maybe try to open up on the Neath, but she's smart, she backflips. So I ult. Now ideally I would have liked probably the board to dash the E-set there. It didn't happen. Probably a bit of a misplay on my part. The Kepri gets a good ult off here as well, so definitely a misplay by me. 100%. I mean, I don't even know if... Do I even have the range on the ult here? Like, I don't even remember. I saw here, right? Like, so the Neath is a little bit behind here. So that happens. And then, yeah. So you can see that, like, the cone was pointed over here. The cone wasn't pointed at the E-set, because I hadn't moved the aim over here enough yet. So, yeah, that's definitely a misplay.
Yeah. 6, 6, 7.
Direct hit.
So my team starts to lose this fight. A couple of members of our team die. But we get back off the respawn. This isn't really a defensible tier 2 tower, right? This is just a, hey, let's just retreat situation.
Let winter reign. Nowhere to hide.
Destroyed.
You cannot escape the storm. Now freeze. From the heavens, let winter reign.
Yes, I die here, yeah.
You saw nothing.
Yeah, I was out of position. I wasn't sure exactly how many of them were still around, but yeah, it's definitely not ideal. My teammates are able to get a kill though to even things out. Of course, trading me for the support is probably not a very good trade, but you know, at least they get something out of it. So we're dead here.
You cannot escape the storm.
So that's a very nice ward ping, because I know that a couple of them are over here in this area, so I know to watch out.
From the heavens, let winter reign.
Now I see that they're on the gold fury here with 2 players, right? So I definitely want these people to come in and make a play here. We don't want them to get this for free, right? It's only 2 of them, and this is definitely something where, yeah, like I can go in, and so they're going to ult us, even though the Neath seems like she was trying to disengage. So that's a little bit weird. A really good pull by the Sylvanas here. So my team goes right, I decided to go left to try to keep some autos here off the Neath. Unfortunately, the Neath backflips, so I kind of waste my ult there, so that's probably a bit of a misplay. So now I'm low, so I want to disengage ideally.
Be careful.
I've endured worse. Much worse.
So I go back here, I'm gonna grab a camp as I see it up. And there's gonna be a fight breaking out in mid here. So the idea is to back. But then I noticed the minion wave is over here, so I wanted to clear this, get them off the Phoenix, otherwise they're gonna get that for free. Unfortunately, I do win the mid ritual off of that, but that is what it is. Now at this point, I'm the highest level on the team. I'm 2 and 4 here, and we're a decent amount of gold down at this point. So them taking my speed buff is not ideal, but I really don't have a huge leg to stand on. Yeah, sorry, there was like a fly flying around, and I wasn't sure what it was, but it looks like it was a fly. Anyway, we'll get back to this. They were on the gold, and this person is super low.
You cannot escape the storm.
But our carries are over here, right? So we want the carries to get here before we fully engage onto this.
Now freeze.
So I'm able to get off some damage here and get, you know, right. We're keeping the focus on us here, so that hopefully our carries can come in and do some serious damage. I'm trying to juke to avoid damage. Not sure how the Agni got back here, but he did. So I also make sure that we get the kill.
Now freeze.
I'm low, but I recognize I still have damage I can dish out here, and I can be a distraction. So I'm willing to try to help out here. Another good play, another good pluck by the Sylvanas. The Sylvanas have really been having some good pulls in this game. Unfortunately, our team really hasn't been able to capitalize. The Guan Yu's also in right, which is pretty troll of him. He should definitely be in this fight. I want these guys to attack the Gold Fury while I back for health, right? Because then I can clear right. But so ideally we would go for Gold Fury there with 2 people down, and then the On Her gets picked, which really should not happen. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's kind of unfortunate.
The storm, winter rain. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
So, you know, we're 2, 4, and 8, right? We're down a couple of kills. We're down 7,000 gold.
You cannot escape.
It's not really surrender worthy. Like, we've been in these fights, right? It's been a competitive game, but we're just kind of missing that little extra X factor here.
Retreat middle lane.
So I'm in right. They take this fight, which I'm not happy about. So I have to back and try to get here.
You cannot escape.
Yeah, so our Achilles dies. The enemy team ends up going for the Gold Fury.
From the heavens, let winter rain. Freeze. You cannot escape the storm.
So this one is deep in the backline, right? He's doing his job of defending, and the other team drops the Gold Fury. So I'm not sure why they dropped it. They probably still could have gone for it, but they drop it to try to engage onto us. So I'm happy about that because they're not going for the objective right now. So we'll see how this plays out.
You cannot escape the storm.
You can see how much damage the E-set does to me here. Yeah.
From the heavens, winter rain.
Yeah, so I kind of got discombobulated there. Not really sure where everybody on the enemy team was.
Much worse.
And so I see the opportunity right here to get a kill on the Agni, which is quite big. I get a pick on him just by him just walking by me, not knowing I was there. So, right, that's why it's important to be aware when you're backing, right? Because he just walked right by me, didn't pay attention to me, got a free kill onto him. Okay, so that's quite big to be able to pick up a kill like that. So my team's in mid. I'm gonna go clear left, push up this wave, go get some more XP. Right now we're trying to get the full build here. There's an engagement in mid, so I'm gonna go in on this. I'm in their backline already, so this is definitely big for me. So I beat this. I'm able to play distance so I can kill the knee. I'm causing all sorts of mayhem in the backline. So we get a kill on one of their frontliners, on one of their backliners. That's quite nice. We should be able to... I think that they get the Kemper ult off. So let's back this up for a second because this is definitely a good engage here, right? So I recognize that their team, right, is pushing. So their front line has completely dove my team. Okay, so my team is probably in kind of discombobulated back here. Gosh, dude, why is my video freezing? Why is my video freezing? Okay. So let's see. Sorry about that. Let's just move this back here, right? So go on you alts, right? My team's kind of discombobulated here. You know, my on her just leaped, right? So he's going to be a heavy target for anything that the enemy team has, right? But both their backliners are up here for the taking. Okay. So
From the heavens.
to even things out, I want to try to create some chaos here, right? Now, I'm pretty confident that I can kill this Neath, especially if the other 3 players get tunnel vision and only focus on their team, right? So I get the ult on the Neath, right? I beat that, and I'm able to play a little bit of a distance so I get the kill on the Neath, right? So you can now see that their team is now turned around to engage on me, which allows my team to kind of get back into gear and engage on this player over here, okay? So again, my video freezes.
From the heavens. Let now freeze.
Okay, looks like I eat an ult there. We get the kill on the Guan Yu, my team does, which is good. I'm able to get away. They're able to go focus the E-set. It's unfortunate that they don't get the kill there. That's a good Kepri ult and a good Aegis by the E-set to stay alive. But right now they're missing 2 players, so we're up 2 players here.
Nowhere to hide.
Bathe in the glow.
So we're still down 5,000 gold, but we're even in kills. You know, at this point in the game, I'm 5-4, right? Nobody on our team is lighting the stat screen a light here. I don't feel like I've actually been as impactful as I necessarily would be had I been playing a different jungler, for example. But I do have top damage. So I'm like, okay, that's great. Of course, my carry, as you can tell there, if you briefly saw the items, is not building 10 yet, which is a huge mistake at 33 minutes. But, you know, it is what it is. Okay, right? They have no pet. Our carry doesn't have any pet. So that's so nice at 33 minutes. But yeah, it is what it is. So at least we're still in the game. There's a grouping over here by the gold fury. So that's a good pull. I get defaulted. Then the Guan Yu ults causes quite a bit of disruption. My team, though, is able to fall back and not just, you know, completely fall apart, which is good. I get off some good poke damage.
Nowhere to hide. You cannot escape the storm.
So, good snipe by the Raw, I guess. You know, I'm holding my ult here, right? Because I don't need to ult right now.
From the heavens, let winter
Your right
reign.
Phoenix is under attack.
So, right here, it's, you know, do we chase, do we not chase? Right, at this point, we won the fight. They're low. Let's just fall back to the gold tree and go for the objective. But my team decides to continue to keep diving, which I think is a mistake.
You cannot escape the storm. Nowhere to hide.
Okay. Sorry, let's sneeze. So this guy just jumped me, right? So I don't know why he does this. Because I got teammates standing around. And so he dashes, and so this is where I ult, right? Like, that's a free kill. That's a complete overcommit by the Agni. So they're just down another player. And I've been able to get some healing here from most likely the Sylvanas, and so now we're in a good position to be able to try and chase this. The Guan Yu has ult up again, which is kind of crazy, but that is what it is.
Carry me.
From the heavens, let winter reign. Now freeze.
Bathe in the glow.
So overall, a good fight for the team here. Nobody on my team, I think, died during that fight, and we got 3 of them, I think. It was kind of staggered, but we ended up, I think, getting 3 of them. So we'll definitely take that.
You cannot escape the storm.
So I want somebody to go on the pyro here, but their team shows up. So it was a good thing that my team didn't follow me over here. So I dropped that. Looks like there's a fight that's about to break out. I want to be here for this.
Let winter reign.
That's a good pick. Good Aegis. But we're able to clean up the kill though. So
Cannot escape the storm.
right now it's, you know, a 3v5, right? So we just want to chase these guys. I don't know where their other team members are, but they're out of position badly. So
From the heavens, let winter reign.
that's right, I'm trying to help on my back line here because they're gonna struggle to deal with the Guan Yu.
You cannot escape the
I can offer some
storm.
good amount of damage onto them, so
Now freeze.
that's why I help out. But again, you can see here, we're not really able to, you know, get 4 of them down, right? We're getting a kill here or there. The kills are kind of staggered. So it's kind of hard to deliver a knockout blow where we can go for like a fire giant or just push down a lane. It's, you know, a kill here or there. And we're still behind, even though we're up in kills as well. Our team fight has definitely been better. We've definitely been fighting better together as a cohesive unit. They've had a lot of players that aren't there at the beginning of fights and are showing up late because they're farming or split pushing or something like that. So
You cannot escape the
it's just
storm.
one of these situations where you just kind of have to keep playing your game, right? Don't, you know, start trying to also split push or not group, right? We're playing the game correctly. And,
From the heavens,
you know, as long as
let
we can maybe
winter
get a good
reign.
fight here where they overcommit a little bit too much, we might be able to, you know, snowball down a lane, right? And win the game off of it. Especially at 37 minutes. So it's just kind of about sticking in there at this point.
You cannot escape the storm.
That being said, of course, the on her not having 10 earlier is definitely harming the team. So I see my teammates are starting to set up over here. So now the Neith and the Kepri show up over here. So I do as much as I can, right? I'm gonna die in that 2v1. But I'm calling out to my team here that, yo, hey, there's 2 people on left, right? We need to go for an objective on the right side of the map here, okay? And so unfortunately, I don't know what the on her was doing, but he's not here. So, and then we see the E set is, you know, way too far up. And so I don't actually know if they get this kill, to be honest. I don't actually remember. Yeah, so unfortunately on her kind of misplays and makes it so we don't get the kill. It should have been a free kill. But the push away and the bad pillar placement definitely harmed. What happened there? Okay, all the Achilles got pulled. You see. Okay. But anyway, we're gonna come back up here. Nobody's died somehow.
You cannot escape the storm. Nowhere to hide.
So I see the Guan Yuan right, but I don't want to overcommit onto this, right? Our Sylvanas is dead. It's hard for me to go in and engage.
Caught in the chill. Now freeze. From the heavens, let winter reign.
Out of my way!
But this is a good play by the on her, right? He hops over the wall.
Escape the
I
storm.
almost killed the Guan Yu, but he has to leave. Unfortunately, the on her does die though. Had the on her pillared him, I'm assuming, or you know, uses 2 on him. I'm assuming he didn't have it up, but if he does that, right, he's dead. So. But our team's playing good defense right now. You know, we're not allowing them to walk in on these Phoenixes for free, which is quite key. So I see that Kepri's just straight up out of position. And then I end up getting, so this is kind of interesting here because I don't know how the Achilles doesn't get killed, right? So I get the Kepri and execute threshold. I'm assuming the Achilles missed or wasn't in range here, but then I get, you know, turned on here, so I ult. And it's actually convenient that it ulted the Guan Yu behind me. That actually ended up working out in my favor.
Right Phoenix is under attack.
And so we get a double kill there, which is quite big. 2 of their more impactful players are now dead, and so we can kind of push out here. They can no longer siege us. So we should be going for a fire here, but we end up going for another pick.
You cannot escape the storm.
Yeah, I would have liked to go for Fire Giant there. I think the Sylvanas made a call to push up mid, and I didn't like it. I was at low health, so if their team showed up here, right, I wasn't going to be able to really do a whole lot. And so now I think our Sylvanas is going to die here as a result.
Attack
Oh no, he didn't die. Okay,
From
that's
the
good.
heavens.
On my way.
But with 2 players down though, we need to be going for an objective. This late in the game, 2 players down is for sure you gotta call something. But then their team ends up showing up, and as you can see, let me just back it up here because we call this right. You want to see how this unfolds.
From the heavens, let winter reign.
So good pull by the Sylvanas. Right, so I'm going to pump damage into him. Her does a good job of hitting that player in the back line. So we kill both of those players who overcommit. Their Guan Yu goes to right for I don't know what reason, but he does. So that's quite bad. So now we have the Gold Fury, right? We can push up left. Okay. The Guan Yu's over here, so I want to, if he starts pushing up too far, I want to deal with that. And because I have so many players down, I think that my team can handle it over here. Now, my team does, for some reason, not recognize, hey, the tier 1 is still up. They kind of overdove over here, so make sure to pay attention to where if the tier 1 is still up, you don't overdive past the tier 2.
From the heavens, let winter reign.
But yeah. I'm just going to stand here and grab stones while my team pushes up left here. I'm assuming that this is a dead push up here. And so I kind of want to serve... So then I decided to push up mid here to try to serve as a distraction and actually get over here to help out because their team is actually up now. But...
From the heavens.
Yeah, so then I get grabbed by the Capri. I don't bees it. And then I ult blades. Yeah. So this is just a straight up misplay by me. My whole team is running away, and I decided to engage on the 2 players here. I should instantly beads the Capri grab, but I didn't. And I died without really doing anything. So... that's not ideal. So I'm dead. My teammates now have to try to salvage something off of this. I don't know if they actually do. I don't think we end up getting any kills off of this, but they end up going over here onto the fire giant. And this is the slowest objective burn I've ever seen in my life here, right? So we're at 45:08 here, and my Achilles walks up. They're presumably on the fire right now. Okay, they have it at 17,000 HP. It's the Guan Yu, the E-set, and I think the Agni in the back. So they've been on this for 40 seconds at this point. They're at 2,000 health. They're super low. They're not paying attention. So I just go in. I ult to, ult to stun these guys over here. Okay, so this is where these guys are low, right? My Achilles is on these guys. This is super low here. This is prime steal, right? The Kepri's way overcommitted over here on the on her. They have no idea I'm back here because this isn't working. Okay, so I took the teleporter up, and so I 3 to get a kill. I now ult to try to stun the Agni, and while he's stunned, I can burst this down without having to worry about his damage. But ends up working. I get that. I get the kill. The Kepri shows back up. I make sure to pick up the dagger so the Kepri cannot. And so we're gonna win the game. We're gonna win the game off of this in short because the other team just completely crumbled. It was the slowest objective EFG burn I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. So so I hit her with the trap, and then get her with the 3. Make sure not to activate that. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Kepri. But we have a wave here in mid, right? So we want to use the mid wave, and because we have EFG, there's nothing that they can really do. They only have a support, and so we're gonna go on to win this game.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Victory.
This is not a backpack, brother.
So at the end of that game, I say, guys, you're welcome for the backpack. And so they call me out for, was it actually a backpack? Okay, so I'm going to show you the stat screen, and assuming that you made it to the end of this video, I want you to answer in the comments below, do you think this was a backpack or not? Okay, and I'll give you some more insight into this later, after I show you the stat screen here, okay? Okay, so right here it is 60,000 damage, okay? The next nearest player on my team is 36,000 damage. So I almost did double the amount of damage compared to anybody else on my team, okay? Is that backpack worthy or not? I'm leaving it up to you in the comments, okay? Now, is my stat line also better than everybody else's on my team? Yes, absolutely. I also placed way more wards. I had the most structure damage. I had like a decent amount of damage taken as well. So, I had a decent amount of healing. I had the highest gold per minute in the lobby, which means I was farming correctly. Right, like, and then if I compare myself to everybody else in the other team, like, yeah, the E-set also did quite a bit of damage, but this is, a considerable about more damage than anybody else for the most part on their team did as well, okay? So, I was surprised that I saw the 60,000 damage number, because it felt like for most of this game, I wasn't really being super effective, okay? So maybe that goes against the backpack argument, but ultimately, at the end, though, I did make the play that won us the game, right? Is I teleported up the lane, went through the back trap, they weren't paying attention, and they threw the game on the spot. Okay. So yeah. I'll leave it again. I'll leave it up to you in the comments. Let me know if you think that I deserve the backpack tag for this game. But considering it didn't seem like I was very effective in this game, and I ended up with 60,000 damage, I don't know. You do with that what you will. But I thought that I would make that observation. Again, I wasn't really able to full combo anybody. I had to play around with Sylvanas being able to pull people on the on-her stuns and the on-her pillars and the Achilles stuns, right? Otherwise, I wasn't, able, again, to really full combo somebody, okay? But I hope that you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave a comment in the video description. Let me know if I deserve that backpack tag, and I will see you in the next video.